Hello everyone, so in today's video we are going to cover something called advanced JavaScript concept. And here we have been introduced with the concept of ES6, that is the ECMAScript 6, which has been introduced in the year 2015 and which added some extra features and functionalities over JavaScript. So like we do have something called arrow function that makes our syntax more shorter. Like previously we were using something called traditional function, like let's suppose in this we have function and this is a function name that is create, and this is just simply returning hello out of that. But by the help of arrow function we can just simply make this code syntax more shorter, and we can make this more cleaner by the way. And apart from that, we have also something called let and const that have been introduced in the ES6 for handling the variable more better. Like previously, we were having var that was being used to handle the variables, but by the help of let, we can handle the variable. And the most important thing is that let is a block scope, whereas the var is the function scope. And on top of that, constant for like let's suppose when we are working with something called objects, or when we are working with something where we just want to assign the value on that variable, but we do not want to change the value of the variable, then at that case we would be going with something called const. And apart from that, there were some extra things that have been introduced, and that was the concept of classes and object oriented programming in JavaScript. And the most important thing that I would cover up at the very ending of this video, and that is the promises and the way we do handle the request, like in the form of synchronous and asynchronous way. So with that, let us move with the traditional function. So as I've explained this previously, I do not think that I need to explain this one, but you guys will get it more but when I will letting you know this one by the help of arrow function. So let's suppose we have something called const great, and we are using some different variable over here, and we are not passing anything as a parameter over here, and we are just simply returning this as hello. So, this is just simple as what we were doing before, but you can see there's a much more clear, you can see this is much more clear than the previous one, and that's the beauty with ES6 by the way. So yeah, now let's work on the object restructuring one. So in the object restructuring, we have a variable that is user, and that stores value that is name, age, and email. So we are storing the name as a string value. We are, by the way, it's a data type, string data type. We are storing the age as a number data type, and we are storing the email again as a string data type. So we are storing these values over here, but by the help of object destructuring, we can do the same in just one line. We can just simply write this const name, comma, age, comma, email, and that equals to some variable which is named as user, and we can just store this value. So, we can just make this entire 3 to 4 lines of code in just one line, and that's the thing that comes with ES6, and that is something called object destructuring. In the same sense, we have something called array destructuring, and in this we are having coordinates, that is some random coordinates over here in the form of latitude and in the form of longitude. So what we are doing is we are having one variable that is latitude, and we are having one variable that is longitude, and we are storing the values from this coordinates. So what would happen over here is, in the latitude one, we would be storing this value that is 40.7128, I think. And in the longitude, we would be storing this value that is minus 74.006. So you guys can see it works in this manner. And there's a function as well where you can uh, have an understanding how does it works with function by the way. So in this we have a function that is named as get coordinates, and that is returning something called like some random value here and some random value here as well. But we are storing this in the form of latitude, and we are storing this in the form of longitude. So we are just declaring the variable, the variable type of const, which is storing the value lat and longitude which has, I mean, I have just used is the short form of that one, and we are just using this get coordinates, and we are assigning the value to them accordingly. So you guys can see that we do have the same value out of that. So that's how it works with function, by the way. And then after we have something called spread operator. And like honestly, I have used this much, by the way. I have at some point I have used this one because I feel like this is more required rather than others as well. But yeah, the others are also required. So let us move in this one. So in this one we have the array one, which is having some values like 1 comma 2 comma 3. In the random way we store the value in array in JavaScript. But by the way, in JavaScript like in other programming language, there's a different thing about array. But in JavaScript we can store all data types in a single array. Like we can also store data type like string. We can also store data type like float values or like decimal values, and we can also store data type like boolean values, by the way. But what I mean to say here is we would be working on the spread operator and how does it work. So the way the spread operator works is like we have array 1 over here and we have some values over here. In the same sense, we have array 2 over here and we do have some values over here. And let me make you guys more clear on that. Let me remove this one. So in this, when we are using triple dot, and then after we can add the array name, that is the ARR1 in our case. So what it would be doing, like it would be just iterating this one as 1, 2, and 3. And by the way, by iteration I mean the spread operator only works on that that data type that are iterable. So in the for example, let us consider we have string, we have array, we have object, and like that, by the way. And now we have been wrapping this one in this array. So this is how the spread operator works. And in this case, we are merging this one, so we can just add one more comma over here, and we can add the second array, and that's how we are merging the two array by the help of spread operator. In the same sense, it works for the object as well. So in this we have object 1 and we do have object 2 over here. And in the object 1 we have something called a, which has a value of 1, and we have a key as b, which has been holding some value of 2. In the same sense, we have key as 3, and the value is sorry, key as c, and the value is 3 over here. And in the same sense, we have something called key as d, and the value is being 4 over here. And we are merging this object. So in the same sense as it works for array, it works for this only. Like we need to add the triple dot over here, and you can just add the object, that is the object 1 over here. Then we have added the comma, and then we have added the spread operator once again. And by the what I mean from spread operator is you need to use triple dot, and you are just simply using the spread operator in JavaScript, and that has been introduced in the ES6 module. And by the help of this, we would be just wrapping this one in the object, and we would be getting a merged object out of that and we can store this one in a single variable. So that's how we have been introduced with some extra concepts by the help of ES6, and in the later on videos we would be covering some more topics that has been introduced in the ES6 module.